Oh shit, what's up, y'all? Oh, that's gotta be louder. Oh, that's better. Start off the day correct. Got your coffee, your cigarette, and your brutal death metal. Of course, I'm having tea. I've already had my coffee. Now we're on tea. Finally got some more of the Earl Grey. Burial. Eradicate divinity through eradication. It's eradication through divinity. No. It's divinity through eradication. That's a sick cover though. Reminds me of like a Morbid Saint cover with that skeleton dude. Death looking down on all the fucking zombie dudes. Fulci type scene going on here. You feeling me? Hell yeah, hell yeah. Fulci, that's a band. A lot of people recommend that band to me. Fulci, like the director. I've checked it out. It's pretty good. I just don't own any. I probably need to fix that. This is not Burial Enlightened with Pain. I'm still waiting on Justin to get that shit up at Hell's Headbangers. If y'all haven't listened to Burial Enlightened with Pain, you need to. The second track here, Pale Shade of Humanity. We're on the first track. We're on the second track. That's on Enlightened with Pain. Because I know that album because I listened to it on YouTube and roommate used to have it, so I listened to it all the time. So as soon as I heard that second track, I was like, hey, that's on the first album. That's really cool. This is good. Like, you're still getting good, brutal death. Yes, sick shit, but, Enlightened with Pain is kind of like the good one. But I do like this one. It's a little bit more refined. I think Enlightened with Pain just had that raw, almost demo style. You know what I mean? And this one's like actual album we got real production in. So, yeah, and that's it. But yeah, I'd love to hear new material from Burial. Honestly. I don't know how old this one is. I really don't. So, that'd be a band I wouldn't mind seeing. I saw him once before. I wouldn't mind seeing him again, It's one of those ones that came through. Bought t-shirt, album, stickers. All I got left are the stickers. That's only because they're on my toolbox. What's up, cat? Seem quiet today. Nah, man, I'm good. It's been raining, Just cats get kind of... Yeah, y'all just want to lay around and be lethargic when it's all like this. I understand. Yeah, when it's all wet and rainy outside, it's kind of hard to do my work out there, so you kind of have to be strategic on how you get out there and get your farm work done. You see the right weather and the right time, and that work's got to be done. You just got to go. You just got to go. Sometimes you just put in way too much labor. You're freaking exhausted when you're done. But the cool side is you get like rainy days where you can't really do anything. Which is good for the land, good for the crops, but it's good for me, good for you too. Stay inside, chill, paint some 40K stuff. Actually, I'm working on some Age of Sigmar shit right now. I'll show that off later. I finished up a 40K painting project a few weeks ago when I started on AOS. I've been meaning to show this 40K stuff because I'm kind of proud of it. And I took some pictures with this dinky camera here, and it doesn't... I'm not very good at taking pictures of my models. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to take pictures and edit it into a video, and... I suck at taking pictures. I mean, I can take pictures of landscape just fine. When it comes to a model, getting the lighting right on these little guys, you know, getting them right in there to the camera so you can see what's going on, you know, like that's a little bit of a challenge for me. It's a whole skill. But anyways, it's not Eldar, but I'll tell you what it is later, if there's interest in it. I like how they have slam elements. You know, low and slow, gurgle your way through. Like, I appreciate that. But I just hate it when slam and gore grind is all like it's just that. It's just one of those riffs into another one. It's like, man, come on, get a fucking melody going. Feel me? Yeah. Y'all feel me. Shit, Cat, what we got today? We're going to talk about, Guitar Universe Dojo. It turns out that's Josh from the Swamp. He emailed me and was like, hey, it's my name now. Yeah, old Josh and YouTube have been going backwards and forwards. This is that track I was telling you about. The one that's on Enlightened Pain. Hell yeah, burial. But he's saying here, my channel has evolved into a philosophical, historical, and everyday life hangout. Congratulate me on the episode. I'm sure you'll know why. Yeah, hey, what's up, man? I thought that was funny though. I read that comment. I was like, who's this? I don't recognize this name, but this comment seems so familiar. So yeah, philosophical, historical, and everyday hangout. Well, the everyday hangout, jamming some metal and just chilling with the cat and y'all. Like, that was the most important, that was the imperative part. I wanted it to feel like we're just chilling. So that if we met each other at Dead by Dog, you know, you just feel like you could approach me and just be like, hey, what's up? And that worked. It worked. A lot of people did. A lot of people did. So, yeah, because I want to be approachable, you know? Well, to you, my metal brethren, my metal and extreme people brethren, our large conglomerate of outcasts, strange and wonderful people. A nice round table discussion or something, I don't know. But yeah, no, I wanted that vibe. Philosophical and historical, I figure why the fuck not? It's better than talking about, you know, current event of metal, which those metal channels get so boring, you know. I don't want to talk about metal news, I want to talk about metal. Listen to it, talk about it. Philosophical philosophical because I just knew the market was out there. I knew you guys out there in the comments section had shit to say, and I wanted y'all to say it so that we could see that we kind of have a lot of things in common, you know, and it gets a good vibe, you know, we get a good vibe of each other, you know, you know your friend and you know what they like and dislike, or, you know, what to expect from them. Historical, I like putting historical in there because it puts everything in context. We need that. We need a context for everything. And the best way to get that context is through the past. So that our path forward makes a little bit more sense. And we have the lessons of the past, the mistakes made and learned from. Like, we make mistakes. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake, y'all. Make mistakes. Learn from them. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from other people's mistakes. You know, and you need philosophy to help do that. But it's none of this weak-ass philosophy like I'm going to have you read a book and write a paper about it. That's silly. Nah, we're going to put philosophy in action. We actually going to do it. And that's been my life Let's put philosophy in action. I don't want to read books about someone's thoughts unless the thoughts are something they experienced, not something they studied. Nothing wrong with academic research, but philosophy, unfortunately, needs a hands-on, in-the-field, lab practicals. How do you do that? You got to create situations. You got to create situations organically where situations can occur that you can now test your theories and hypotheses or whatever. Scientific method. One of the things I like doing is take art of war and Christian thought, Christian morality with the art of war, and then approaching people I deem to be tyrannical. Giving the hate back to the powers that be. And doing it in such a way that it trips them up. Now they have to deal with you, now they have to engage with you, and seeing how far they want to take it. And my thing in my life has always been, take everything too goddamn far. Take everything too damn far. Why? I said make mistakes. You can learn from your mistakes by taking shit too far. Now, there is consequences for your actions. So, tread carefully, because you might do time. And you don't want to do time. And I have done time in county jails. I've never been to a prison. I never got those kinds of charges, but I have been to multiple county jails and had to stay multiple days, sometimes weeks on end. That is the consequences of being a philosopher in action, especially when you challenge the powers that be. The established order, the norm. And you will be ostracized, and I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there know that feeling of being ostracized way too well. I think I might have given myself a little bit of PTSD or something like that through this stuff. May have. I'm not going to say I have it, and no one's ever said, oh, you definitively have it. But I've had people say you have traits that make people think you might have PTSD or some other thing like autism or something like that. I had a cop one time. He was like, are you on any kind of medication? He didn't think illegal drugs. He thought medication. He was like, because I was like hyper. I'd been caffeinated and had a late night. And he was like, are you on any kind of medication? You seem up. And I was like, I've had a long couple of days and a late night. And I'm on a lot of caffeine and I'm in a good mood. So and now you're a cop pissing me off. So this is where we go. He figured out very quickly once I got out of the vehicle and we just had a chance to just sit there and breathe the night air, and he allowed me to smoke a cigarette, which he didn't allow me, I did it anyways. But I was like, yo man, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, let's just chill and talk for a second. And he kind of was like, oh, okay, you actually seem like you're okay. I'm like, yeah, I just wound up, you know. Anybody else have that happen to them where a cop stops them for like something normal and then the cop's like seriously worried about you? You know, I just had a thought. I was talking to my wife about this morning over breakfast, but the thought came to me earlier. What if we could change how the police departments work? What if we could change how they did calls when they get calls? Like, 911, what's your emergency? You should have done that, Kat. That would be like, 911, what's your emergency? There he goes. He did it. Like domestic violence. Domestic violence, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but here in the United States, domestic violence is like a huge call for the cops, and the cops hate it, and it really fucks with them. What if we had a division or branch or squad of officers that were more like, instead of armed to the teeth like fucking soldiers, what if they went to just only those calls and approached it like psychiatrists dealing with hostile fucking patients? So they could go in, and they go in every day, they're trained for it, it's what they do day in, day out, is dealing with angry ass couples, figure out who's the bad guy, set them straight, get that fucking bullshit over. That way your beat cops, the ones you want like being first responders and shit, like they wouldn't be all jaded because they just seen like husband and wife fighting and kids crying and I've known dudes who have been cops. One of them in particular, the reason why he quit, he said it, DVs, domestic violence calls. He said it was that and the endless ticketing. He was like, there's rapists and drug dealers out there, and I'm writing tickets and dealing with angry couples. He was like, and I'm done. He did 5 years, and he was like, or something like that. He was like, and I'm done. He does IT now. Good for him. But what if we could do that? You know, I think that would help. Like, now if we deal with a cop, we're not dealing with somebody who's all fucking jazzed up from the previous call and he's armed to the fucking teeth like a fucking soldier in a war zone. You know? And he could just be like, the reason why I stopped you know, and not be like having to buck up to you. Yeah, I gotta prove himself because he just got out of a stressful situation. And then those dudes could just deal with those calls. You know, those DV calls. Maybe, I don't know, dude. What do y'all think, man? Because the way we do policing is so fucked up. You gotta handle a DV, you gotta write a ticket, now somebody's shooting at you because he's a gangbanger, you know, at war with his rivals. It seems like those are 3 jobs. It seems like that's 3 jobs and should not be done by the same person in any way, shape, or form. Like, you're making the same guy do all that? That just makes no sense to me. Segue, I'm kind of happy about the DC federal takeover and Trump, like, using the military to completely take over DC. That's what happened. That's what you're seeing, and it's 100% legal. And he warned other cities that he can do it. Yeah, and he can. I think it's hidden in the Posse Comitatus Act. And then there's the Alien and Sedition Act, and I think he can get a lot of stuff done legally using those two, as well as the one he just did to DC. So, not saying I love the guy or I'm rooting for the guy, but what he did was 100% legal, and in some cases, we need to understand that that might be necessary. Just understand that if you believe that there is corruption in the government, especially on the federal level, just know that this federal takeover, this military takeover of DC, there are no doors that are unlocked to that man. There are no doors that can hide anything or anyone. Every filing cabinet, every scratch of paper behind every door, they can now knock on that, get inside there, and see what's going on. And you will find that the corruption not only goes from the top all the way down to the bottom. This is gonna pick up some serious steam, and I hope y'all are ready. And just know, it's like, well, I don't like Trump. That's fine. You can not like him all day long. Technically, it's now in the military's hands. So everything just escalated. That's the reason why I want to bring up this cop stuff. And then I got my bro Paul Kai out there in the comments section. He says, you be a Christian and be in the metal, he has no problem with that, but he has personally has no use for Christianity. That's fine. But in saying that, he says it doesn't mean I blindly hate people over it, because that's just dumb. You know, he's just like, that's just, well, it's not good business. Paul, you seem like you're in a business where you have to actually meet people, and, you know, just refusing to meet someone on the grounds of their religious preference would probably be bad business for you. I'm just throwing that out there, you know, and you seem like a wise enough man to know that that's silly. I may not join your religion, but I don't stand against it. I'm just paraphrasing it. I'm just throwing that out there. That's just my thought on Paul, because Paul seems like an A-OK chap. He is. Paul's a great guy. Paul's a good guy. What the fuck? We need to hang out. We should all hang out. Come to that Dead by Dog 2. That'd be great. Do another one. Paul also says here, I'm not into violence for the sake of being violent, but damn it, I love some movies and music about violence. Well, fuck yeah, we do. That's why we're kind of all friends. We love our fucking metal and our extreme shit. You love it. Yeah. He says a bit old, but you think you'd do okay in the Thunderdome and get the cardio back up. Oh yeah, dude, that shit comes back, man. Just start doing it and start adjusting that diet as you go. You're gonna be badass. Now, for me, Kai, I always think of it this way: violence is not the answer. It's the question. The answer is yes. I'm Cattle Prod, Appalachian Warlord. We'll see y'all next time.